Good day, Brattleboro and surrounding neighbors. I'm Donald McAllister.
And I'm Hannah Chase. And welcome to Sharkbait News.
The focus of tonight's broadcast will be local, coming from our Green Mountain State, Windham County, and the Monadnock region. And last, we'll report from our bustling Landmark College community over in Putney, Vermont. Our stories today will include Local Royalton teen goes missing, weather changes cause local flooding emergencies, Burlington Craft Beer Company struggles with new tax, and an update on the legalization of grass in Vermont.
Brattleboro Memorial Hospital creates a drop-off for unwanted medications. And we'll hit Putney and hear about the Putney Community Dinner and have several stories about what's happening at Landmark College, including an update from the January term, a feature on the cafeteria, and our college teaming up with 2018 Golden Globe host and icon, Seth Myers. In our last story today, we'll hear about a snowy owl making a rare appearance. Over to you, Donald.
In our top story, Vermont police are in pursuit of a missing teenager in Royalton, Vermont. He is 19 years old and his name is Austin Coulson. He went missing on Thursday, in January 11th at around 11 a.m. He was wearing blue jeans, chip-away boots, a camouflage hooded jacket, and a white baseball cap with black ANC painting letters. According to the latest scope, the state police news release says that Coulson has brown hair, brown eyes, and he is about 5 feet 8 inches tall. He has a phone, but it was malfunctioned on Saturday by police, which police said. His direction of travel is unknown. There is no foul play suspected as of late, but the police tell us that they're concerned for his well-being. Anyone with any information on Coulson's whereabouts, they should call the Vermont State Police in Royalton Barracks. Our sympathies and hearts go out to finding Austin safe and sound and to be returned home.
Thanks, Donald. In our next leading story, the Keene Sentinel reported ice dams and flooding across the region, resulting in a major east-west highway, Route 202, closing for 2 hours in Peterborough and 30 people needing evacuation in Swanton. The flooding was caused by the recent warmer temperatures, combined with heavy rains. The excess water created huge, foot-thick ice slabs, flowing down rivers, jamming up, and restricting waterways, causing dangerous pooling and overflow into roads. Police reported a driver stuck and trapped in several feet of floodwater. The officer arriving on scene waded in and carried the victim out of the deep, frigid waters. Both the police officer and person were unharmed in the rescue, and the ice dams dispersed shortly, leaving minimal road damage. Now over to Dan in Swanton, Vermont, to learn about the local flooding displacing 30 residents from their homes.
Thanks, Hannah. On January 13th, terrible flooding caused 30-plus people in Swanton to evacuate their homes. Fire crews and emergency rescue teams responded to help the victims and pets get out of their homes unharmed. A shelter is set up at Missisquoi Valley Union High School by the local American Red Cross volunteers. Authorities are warning local people to watch out for rising river waters and local ice jamming that can cause quick road flooding. If you see water on the road, don't attempt to drive through it and call the local authorities immediately. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Dan. Stay safe out there, everyone. Now for some Northern Vermont news. Here's Dan's evil twin, Dean, who's standing by in Burlington for the latest on property tax changes.
Thanks, Hannah. A property tax in Burlington is affecting businesses negatively, and for one local craft brewery, it may not survive the hike. Simple Roots Brewery, founded in 2014, have doubled production from making 250 barrels of alcohol a year to last year's 500 barrels of beer. Due to this high demand, the owner had hoped to keep growing the operation and hoped to purchase an $11,000 fermentation tank and hire more employees. However, this new looming tax hike has been a setback for the Simple Roots Brewery's expansion plans, and the owner reports having not enough capital to make the necessary investments into the operation. The property tax applies to companies with over $45,000 in assets and incrementally increases based on the amount of equipment within the businesses. Large amounts of expensive equipment are necessary for breweries, which in fact make a small margin of profit off each tank of brew. The Simple Roots owner says this tax just doesn't seem fair. Now back to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Dean. Let's hear from Mark Randall at the State House for an update on the legalization of pot in Vermont.
Thanks, Hannah. In state news, the Vermont Senate approved a marijuana legalization bill last Wednesday afternoon. When enacted into law, the vote makes Vermont the first state in the country to authorize recreational use of marijuana by an act of the legislature as opposed to a ballot measure. Not all members of the Senate agreed to this. If the bill were to become law, Vermonters over the age of 21 would become allowed to possess up to 1 ounce of pot on a small amount of plants. Only one person can cultivate per dwelling, and the landlords can refuse to allow this growing. The bill also included a change required by Governor Phil Scott that a new misdemeanor crime be given to those who provide anyone under 21 with marijuana. The commission created by the governor won't release until its final report until December, so further action on this marijuana will likely be taking effect in 2019. Senator Brian Collmore, a Republican from Rutland County, is among those who voted no. He said, "I don't think it sends a particularly positive message to our youth, but that's probably going to be overcome with some educational efforts down the road." Back to you, Donald.
Thanks, Mark. And now let's go to Gianna Eisenberg at Brattleboro Memorial Hospital to let us know about how we can dispose of unwanted prescription medication.
Thanks, Donald. Do you have unwanted medications in your house taking up cabinets? The Brattleboro Memorial Hospital has recently installed a box that they are calling the Med Drop Drug Take-Back Box for disposing people's unwanted medications. Stephen Capral, the director of the pharmacy at Brattleboro Memorial Hospital, is leading the drop box charge. Installed to serve both hospital patients and non-patients, the box is specifically used for disposing unwanted or expired medications. People should not dispose of illegal drugs, syringes, medical devices, chemical liquids, or other hazardous substances. The box is a way to help medications be safely disposed and reduce accidental or intentional overdose and prevent developments of addiction. We here at Sharkbait News wish the best to the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital initiative. Back to you, Donald.
Thanks, Gianna. Let's hear about the Putney Community Dinner. Hannah.
Thanks, Donald. In the bustling metropolis of Putney, townspeople held the monthly Putney Community Supper at the Next Stage Theater on January 12, 2017. I had the pleasure of attending this event. Over 100 people turned out, including members of the town, Landmark College faculty, staff, and students, and many other volunteers. And despite the rain, heavy fog, and winter conditions, the January supper was a huge success. Landmark College staff, faculty, and students sponsored the event, providing a delicious menu of food. The dinner was served buffet style and included both meat and vegetarian options, with many people pitching in to help set up, serve, and clean up the aftermath. The Putney Community Suppers started over 10 years ago, according to Chairman Philip Wilson, and provides the opportunity for the citizens of Putney to get out from being cooped up inside all winter and gather as a community.
In other Putney news, we go to the home of the Sharks. Our news team home, the Landmark College campus. In the beginning of January, Landmark offers a unique condensed 3-week semester called the J-term. The J-term offers 18 classes and approximately 75 undergraduates attend. Students are allowed to take 3-credit courses along with a 1-day-a-week physical educational class. The PE class involves students getting out in the Vermont surroundings for the day, and students can choose to downhill ski, snowboard, or do snowshoeing or skates. Going deeper behind the scenes of the J-term and into the Landmark dormitories, we go to Gianna.
Thank you, Donald. A few days ago, I sat down with 3 residential deans who all agreed that J-term is a much different experience. For starters, with 75% less students, these residential leaders can form closer bonds with the students to best help them succeed academically. Also, the halls are much quieter, which promotes a better study environment, which is a critical part of this 3-week semester. In talking with a student worker, Connor, a residential assistant, his response to the difference between the J-term and the regular 15-week semester was, with less students in the halls, it means much less prep time. And believe me when I tell you, he seemed very happy about reporting much less prep time for work. The J-term ends January 25th, and the full campus of approximately 450 students return to classes on January 30th for the 15-week spring 2018 semester. We give our good wishes to the students toughing it out in J-term. Now back to Hannah at the news desk.
Thanks, Gianna. In our next Landmark College feature story, we meet the executive chef of the dining hall, Sean Kelsey. Take it away, Dan.
You got it, Hannah. Since January 2016, Chef Kelsey has run the dining hall operations from soup to nuts. In addition to being the head chef and planning the menu, his other responsibilities include managing the finances, ordering the food, and hiring, training, and terminating employees. Sean prides his kitchen menu on healthy choices for students and buying as much local produce and baked goods as possible to help support the local economy. Sean says that the strongest part of his operation is his outstanding team of employees who work tirelessly every day to feed the 500 plus members of the Landmark community. Chef Kelsey also reported the most challenging part of the operation is finding and retaining culinary skilled employees in such a small town like Putney. Landmark College has approximately 450 undergraduate students, feeding the community 48 weeks of the year. The dining hall also caters numerous meals throughout the year, specifically occasions like graduations and special visiting groups. Keep up the great work, Chef Kelsey, and cheers to all the people who make the food operations great at Landmark College.
In other Landmark news, the 6'5" Professor Eric Maddie got dwarfed by actually meeting someone much larger than himself. Mark Eaton, the former Utah Jazz NBA star and 1989 Defensive Player of the Year, met Eric at the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. Eaton stands a whopping 7 feet 4 inches tall, making Professor Maddie look small. The two talked about Mark's story of going from car mechanic to NBA star over a 12-year journey of basketball that included playing for the famed college program UCLA. Eric and Mark formed an immediate connection and remained friends over social media. Wait, who wrote this story? Do you guys know who wrote this story? What? Who wrote this story? Do you know? What? Oh my God. No.
Well, anyway, in our last Landmark College story tonight, Seth Myers, the 2018 Golden Globe host and acting icon, will team up with the college for the Champions of Change Gala in April 2018 in New York City. In teaming up with Myers, the college's hopes to bring more attention to neurodiversity and people who learn differently, and specifically the Landmark College mission to transform the way students learn, educators teach, and the way the public thinks about education. Tickets for the gala with Seth Myers can be purchased on the college website, landmark.edu. Now to wrap up, let's go to Hannah and hear about snowy owls.
All right, Donald. In our final story tonight, Keene has discovered a new resident, a female snowy owl. The rare Arctic owl, first spotted late 2017, has made several appearances on various rooftops, trees, and light posts around the area of the Monadnock Marketplace. People have spotted and photographed the bird, braving the recent cold winter temperatures. And seeing snowy owls in Keene is important to local animal lovers. According to Chad Whitco of the Antioch Bird Club, in the world of birds, this is the equivalent of having a polar bear in our backyard. If you are interested in catching a glimpse of this rare and beautiful animal while it is still around in Keene, Chad advises to keep your distance and try not to make too much noise or hoot at the owl. This can interrupt them if they are trying to clean themselves or sleep. Snowy owls are typically found in northern Canada and northern parts of the United States in the winter. Happy bird watching! That's going to do it for our Sharkbait News team. I'm Hannah Chase.
And I'm Donald McAllister. Thanks for watching Sharkbait News. Have a good day, Brattleboro.
Now for some northern Vermont news. Here's Dan's evil Chetendine, who's standing by in Burlington for the latest on property tax changes.
Thanks, Hannah.
Should we say Sharkbait News together or
Yeah.
That's cool. Good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have to like time this
Okay.
though.
Go ahead and count 'em in.
That's fine, we'll work it out.
Hello and welcome. I'm Hannah Chase.
And I'm Gianna Eisenberg, and this is Sharkbait News.
And I'm Hannah Chase. And welcome.
Sorry, I screwed up.
I flipped the paper and then I noticed it was in the corner of the screen and then.
I didn't even notice.
Oh. And I'm Hannah Chase. And
Welcome to Sharkbait News.
Mark, any famous last words before we embark on this BCTV endeavor?
Good night and good luck.
So where's the cameras?
Deep breaths and stuff and that. That's. Hold on a second.
I feel like I have to sneeze.
Thanks for tuning in, Brattleboro.
College hopes to bring mom more.
Bring mom.
Okay.
Entire blooper reel right there.